What is going on, guys? It's Hector here with Vapin Lizards and Landmark Wholesales, and today what I got for you guys right here is the Alliance V2 Plus. And I know the Alliance Foggate, the first one, was a really big success, and this one is really good as well. It has a lot more extra stuff. It just improved a lot more from what it already was. So let's get right to it. Go down close and check the device out. So here's the box it comes in. Right there it says Alliance V2 Plus. Over there will be your RDA if it was there, but I have it installed in one of my devices. You get those logo symbols right there. Same over here. Nothing on the left. Nothing on the right. So let's go up to the inside and open her up and see what it brings. So here it is, guys. This is all the stuff that it brings inside. Right here we have in packaging with a whole bunch of extra stuff. It has, like you can see, a Dell ring tip, a 510 right there, adapter with the 510 tip, but you can pop it off and put your own. Tools, coils, O-rings. You can see it what's on the bottom over here, but it has a copper pin also, so in case you might strap or mess up your copper pin, your adjustable copper pin, you have another one extra in there. And you also have extra screws, but just a nice, gift, full of goodies in here. It's probably one of the only RDAs that I've seen that brings so much extra stuff aside, from what it needs to work. Over here we have the single airflow AFC. As you can see, one side is open, the other side is closed. So you can actually, out of the top cap, you can unscrew the AFC portion and put these on, or keep the ones for dual airflow, or if you like to run it fully open, you can just take it off and you'll still be able to secure your RDA with your top cap. Over here, something I will have to show you later on when I'm testing it. I'm probably going to use this when I'm testing it at 200 watts. It's pretty much, it sits on the top of this, whatever barrel you have on your RDA, and then you put the top cap on, so you have more like a cooling chamber almost, for so to speak. Then obviously over here we have our two beautiful barrels. Obviously that one's bigger than this one, so it's kind of for like the first one that came out that didn't have any adjustable airflow. They had these barrels so you can have tighter draws and more open draws, but now we have the AFC. But they're still nice. It's still nice to have it because you never know what can happen. You can run it over, hit it, bend your other one, so you have at least two spare ones to use. So here's the RDA itself. I have the mutation style airflow on it, as you can see. Seeing the logo at the front. Has some heat fin action going on here and down here. Whiteboard drip tip. Whiteboard drip tip. I always tongue twist myself when I say that. This device is obviously 22 millimeters in diameter, 42 millimeters in height, and it weighs 70 grams. I don't know why you would need to know that, but hey, there's the information. It weighs 70 grams. This is a removable tip, so you can put the other one that you've seen in the package, the Dell ring one, which I probably will for the cloud blowing testing portion. You got, like I said, the heat fins on the top and the bottom. If you take this off, how I said earlier about the adjustable airflow, you can actually twist this off and have nothing and still have an O-ring right there, as you can see, to pop it down, or put your single AFC little attachment to it. I just run the dual coils because I like it like that. But that's that. If we take this off, you're gonna see that this bottom piece actually comes off. The bottom heat fins, you really don't need it. It's kind of like a security, I don't know, like a little, I'll just show you. So you take this off, you hold this down, and you just spin this off. So you have that portion right there with your 510 protruding amazingly, all nice and safe to use on hybrids. And then you have the bottom portion that I heard you can potentially use for like tanks if you wanted to use them on a hybrid, because obviously it's insulated nicely and it protrudes pretty nice. But the guys that I heard it from, they said they're from actually the ones that created this, and they said that they're not responsible for anything that happens. I haven't tested it myself, but I will most definitely test it out, because if I can use my tanks on my mech mods, I'll be very happy. So I'm not responsible. If anything happens to your devices, try it at your own risk. But you can use it for your tanks if you want to. But again, not my responsibility. Just saying. You got a little 510 threads right there. 510 threads up here. Obviously your pin in there. It comes out on this side. Same over here. Same situation going up here with the 510 and the threads. I'm gonna put this on and then move on into the build deck. So here's this portion. Got some hex screws action going on right there, which I do love. I wish every RDA had these screws. It's obviously a 4-post, as you can see. Each post hole is 3 millimeters in diameter, which is nice and big. You can fit almost any build in there. This build is actually pretty big itself, and it fits nicely in there. And I can probably fit another one worth through there, and I'll still have space because the post holes are pretty big. Don't ask me about the build. I do not know what this build is or what it's called. We have you can't really the middle post hole, I wish you can see it. It's just I didn't bring cotton today, so I could not take the cotton out so I can rewick for this review, but so I had to leave my other cotton in there just because I didn't have anything else to replace it with. And so you can't see the bottom, the middle post. It's square, with the insulator being square itself too, making it a little bit harder for it to spin on you and all that good stuff. So it kind of saves you a little bit from having spinny posts. The juice well's pretty big. I don't have the exact measurements, but just believe me, it's pretty deep. It'll be good enough to go out and cloud chase and not go dry. You got dual O-ring right there, and as I showed earlier, this heat fan on the bottom, you can take it off and just use it without it, but I'm not gonna do it because I already did. And it's just an overall well manufactured device. But enough of that, let's go back up top. Let's go ahead and vape this and put it through its paces. Alright guys, so there were the close-ups. Right now let's vape this. We're gonna put it through its paces. Like I said, we're gonna do 100 watts, 150, and 200, because the reload does actually 200 watts since it's 3 18650s. What I'm gonna be vaping on is an 80/20 juice. The one I did review yesterday, which I'll have to link for it in the description below, came out by Cloud Science. Peach Man going wild with a slight hint of cream. Amazing juice, and it's 80/20, and it gives you great flavor. So let's put it through its paces. Right now I'm at 100 watts. Build is reading at 0.11, so let's vape it. Really nice and flavorful. Oh, and I mentioned that I was going to change the tip to a dough ring. I didn't. I kept the metal one. But I took 2 hits, fully dry. So I'm going to rejuice it again and then go to 150 and 150. Whew, crazy amount of vapor and all. I forgot to open the airflow. I had it really tight close. I had it like halfway closed when I did 100. I didn't open it up more, so really warm. I don't care. It bothered me a little bit, but I actually like the warm vape. Now let's take it to 200 fully open. I'm actually gonna take the AFC out and just keep it fully open and see how that runs. 200 watts. Here we go. Rest in peace, Hector. I need a second to take a breath. I was fully open. It was still really warm. I should have put the cooling chamber. It would have been better. I actually did it yesterday, and the cooling chamber actually works really good. Keeps it really cool, but still get the juice. It's not burning my juice. I mean, I know the box and the coil has to do with that, but also how the device is and how the airflow is and how the tip is has a lot to in play with how the flavor is. And I'm getting full on flavor even at 200 watts with that juice.
And again, I'm not a cloud chaser, so my cloud pushers are not on point. So, but enough of that. Performs well with a cooling chamber. If you're gonna cloud chase at like 200 watts with a box like this, definitely put that cooling chamber. You'll be able to push some really big plumes out. The tip didn't get hot. The RDA, it's only hot in the barrel section, like the actual barrel, but the heat fins are pretty cool. I don't feel much heat on them, and the tip is just as cool as it can be, and it's a metal tip, so a stainless steel like the device, and I don't feel anything. It's cool. So those heat fins really work. So I usually, if you're running this on a hybrid, for example, I would recommend keeping those heat fins there if you're running a high wattages, a high power with a hot build, so you can keep your mech mod a little bit cooler and stuff, so it won't get too hot. But now let's move into the pros and cons. Alright guys, so for the pros and cons, as always the cons first. The only con I can come up with this device is just that the bottom dual O-ring, once they get juiced up, they come out pretty easy from the bottom portion. The other one seemed to be good, even without the AFC. When I took it out earlier to do the 200 watts, it stayed pretty good in there. Those O-rings actually stay pretty nice and tight in there, so I don't have anything bad to say about that. It's just that those bottom O-rings are the ones that are like a little bit, I don't know, just a little bit too a little bit loose once they get juiced up, which is understandable. You know, it gets juicy, it gets, you know, especially when the 80/20 is really syrupy, so it gives it like, you know, kind of like a lubrication thing to it, so it kind of slips off. But I mean, it will hold there. I mean, I don't know anybody that walks around holding their mech mod or box through their a barrel, so it shouldn't be an issue. And that's it for the cons. For the pros, the packaging, the amount of stuff that it brings. You get 3 barrels. You get an AFC for single, AFC for dual. You can take it off. You can, I mean, the amount of things you can do with this is incredible. The bottom piece, you can take that heat fin off and just run it like that and have that extra. You have that extra cooling barrel for the top, which makes it look super tall, but it works really well as well. You can use that bottom pan, and like I said, I'm not responsible for what happens for your devices, and I tried it with one of my tanks and it worked. I didn't try it for a few days or whatever, I just tried it a few times and it worked just fine when I had it on my mech mod. So again, not on me if something happens to your devices, you know, you've been warned. But you can take that off, and the pin protrudes really nice. You can also put the RDA on a mech mod and you'll be super safe because it protrudes pretty well, and the insulator is really nice and sticking right there a little bit over the metal where the 510 threads are at. I mean, overall, too many pros to go over. I mean, the guys really killed it with this one, and it's just the amount of stuff that it brings. That's just the best part out of it. Like, that's, I mean, who really wants to buy an RDA that only has the RDA itself and maybe like a bag with like screws and stuff? Like, I mean, yeah, if the device is good, it's good, but when you get a box and you have barrels, you got AFCs, you got the cooling chamber, you got a 510 adapter, whiteboard door ring, you get a whiteboard in stainless. You get so much stuff that is incredible. So definitely these guys killed it with this RDA, and it performs well. It's just not just the goods that it brings, it performs well. I didn't think it was going to be honest, but it did well. Put it to 200 watts. Those heat fins work perfect. Like I said, I have the metal tip, and it's cool, So definitely killed it. This device is definitely one of my tops, to be honest, right now, just because of the manufacturing, the amount of stuff that it brings, just the overall RDA itself with everything is just amazing. This RDA definitely takes a 10 in my books, just because of everything. Performs well, brings a lot of stuff. You got so many different configurations you would do with it. You can do so much with this RDA, it's incredible. So definitely takes a 10 in my books. That was it for that, guys. You know, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how I did. Let me know the boo-boos and the hey, the goods in the comments. Share the video if you think it's helpful. If you have any more questions, just drop them in the comments below. Websites, as always, they're down there, like always, it never changes. Also in the description, you have the website, you have all the social media. I want to thank Vapin Lizards and Landmark Wholesales for having me here and doing this review. And until next time, vape safe.